himself. But as the Prince of Wales celebrates his 70th birthday today, do people in the county think he should be the next monarch, or should it skip a generation and go to William? Well, I went to find out if Charles's love for Lancashire is reciprocated.
I think, yeah, he served his time. I mean, I'd rather have a person that's an older gentleman be our king than someone that's, you know, like Harry or William. Don't get me wrong, they'll make great kings, but right now I think they're too young. He's always been really opinionated as Prince Charles, and which is why the BBC, I think, picked up last week on the fact that when he becomes king, he's going to tone it down a little bit, have less to say. But I think he shouldn't. I think he should have more to say. He still needs to have an opinion, and I think a king that stands up and speaks up more for his people and the country that he represents is only a good thing.
I think the Queen's a lot to live up to. We don't want an insipid yes man, do we? We want somebody that would kind of stand up for what they believe in. Yeah, I know it's quite old-fashioned. They're not supposed to have opinions, are they? But I think they should. Nowadays, I think they should.
No, give Charles a chance. He seems to have improved a lot over the years.
And what do you think about him as a character? I mean, he's had very strong views on the plastic crisis before people really knew that it was an issue.
Nobody took any notice of him then that he was right, and he's right now to carry on and do things he's doing. I like him.
I think he's a fabulous chap. Yeah, he'll make a great monarch when the time comes. But that time could be another 20 years yet, couldn't it? But it will be a good... Well, you know, I think. Yeah, when the Queen could be another 20 years before she dies, isn't it?
I think he's fabulous, and I like Camilla as well. I really like it. Yeah, I think it's wonderful.
He's next in line. He should be next.
And do you think he'll make a good king?
Of course he would, yeah. He's more like the people. Happy birthday, Charles.
So he's a big hit on the streets of Lancashire. So what's he really like, and how does the future look for Prince Charles? Well, ask a man who knows him, the former royal editor of The Sun and royal author Duncan Larkham. Good morning.
Morning, Graham.
What's he like?
Yeah, interesting vox pop there. He seems to be popular amongst your listeners. But yeah, his public image is not good. And yet that poll has shown that he's not as popular as some of the other members of his family. But in real life, he is very well read. He's incredibly knowledgeable, passionate about the things that he has always championed. And as I think one of your contributors there said, you know, he's been, for a guy that was dismissed as a tree hugger, but back in the day, he actually was way ahead of his time, and plastics, the environment, the rainforest, all those issues that he's championed are now very, very in the forefront, really, of everyone's mind.
Is it fair to say that he's not that popular because of the Charles and Di situation?
I think that has to be a factor. People still remember Princess Diana very affectionately, and of course the collapse of their marriage and the public way it was sort of handled has done lasting harm to Prince Charles. But I think also, you know, some of the things, you know, the extravagant sort of, as we heard today, grouse-arker type, you know, does he have someone squeezing his toothpaste? You know, does he have do they cook 5 boiled eggs so that they get it right and they don't want a tantrum from him? You know, those sorts of things affect your reputation, and for royals, it's very quick to get a reputation. It takes a very long time to lose it, and you only have to look at Prince Harry for that, the party prince. He hasn't probably been to a proper party now for about 15 years.
Yeah, and he's someone who was made the heir to the throne at something like when he was 4 years old, because obviously the Queen's father died incredibly young.
Well, that's right. I mean, he's the longest-serving heir to the throne in history of the world, and it must be a strange thing if you've been the heir to the throne since you were 4 years old, and you celebrate your 70th birthday today, and you still haven't started your first day at work. Very odd. But I think on that basis, he's going to make a great king, because, my goodness me, he's had long enough to think about what he's going to do when he becomes king.
He has indeed. Duncan, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Really, really interesting. I'd love to know what you think about our future king, Prince Charles. Give us a call, 0800 7833 583. The time now, 8:30.
BBC Radio Lancashire. Travel. I'm George Willis with the latest on the roads. All looking fairly good now on the M6 southbound. We had an earlier accident between junction 33 for Goldgate out towards junction 32 for the Broughton interchange. There was a bit of queuing traffic on that southbound side. That's since now cleared, and once again traffic is moving fairly well. Still just a little bit busy though. M55 around junction 1. Also looking very busy M6 on the northbound side as well. Heading up from junction 30 all the way up towards the Broughton interchange out towards the M55 there, looking fairly busy. So allow some extra time for your journey if you're heading out that way. We're still seeing problems in the Fulwood area as well. The A6 Garstang Road is partially blocked on the roundabout at the M55 junction 1 because of a broken down tanker, and this could be causing some of the problems on the motorway itself. And we're also seeing problems now if you're heading out towards the Blackburn area, the Whiteburt Drive, both directions looking fairly slow, and this is all because of the traffic lights not working near to the M65 junction 6. That's on the roundabout itself. Thank you for your calls on that one. If you spot anything else though, give us a call if it's safe and legal on 0330 123 0181. This is BBC.
Alex Wersick with the headlines. A report commissioned by the government has equated the tremors recorded at the fracking site at Preston New Road with events in the natural environment, such as traffic or when a bag of shopping is dropped or a ball is bounced. Anti-fracking campaigners say rather than the strength of vibrations on the surface, they're concerned about the effect of the tremors underground. 21,000 chicks have died in a fire at a chicken farm in Preston. Around 30 firefighters dealt with the blaze last night on Rosemary Lane and stopped it spreading to nearby buildings. It's a crucial day for Theresa May as she tries to win the support of her ministers for a Brexit deal, which was agreed by negotiators yesterday. One-to-one briefings are expected to continue this morning before a cabinet meeting at 2 o'clock. And as you've just been hearing, the Prince of Wales will celebrate his 70th birthday today. As part of the celebrations, he's guest-edited an edition of Country Life magazine and revealed his love of grousaka, his version of the Greek dish moussaka, but with grouse instead of lamb. The weather, a mild and breezy day with brisk southerly winds and some patchy rain. This afternoon the rain will tend to die away, perhaps leaving a few brighter spells. A top temperature 13 degrees Celsius, that's 55 Fahrenheit.
Oh, I love moussaka. And it also allows squirrels to roam around his house, which you'd have a problem saying that, don't you? Because you have a problem with it. Oh, I allow red squirrels to come in and nibble my nuts from my pocket. So, let me know what twists do you do to your dishes just to make them better? To make them better, perhaps you put ketchup everywhere. Morning to Malcolm in Chorley, who's tweeted us, just saying that his lovely missus, where's the tweet? Here we are. My lovely wife, Gwenny, has our method of making dishes taste different. Pour ketchup on everything. Everything? 0800 7833 583 or send us a text this morning. Do you want to touch Keith Claxton?
Yes, please.
Lines are closed. For Let's Get Lyrical, open for everything else, but in the meantime...
BBC Radio Lancashire Sport.
Let's get the sport this morning. Here's Scott Wallace.
Good morning. Lancashire's Joss Butler has led a fight back for England against Sri Lanka after a tough start on the opening day of the second test. He has just been dismissed for 63 with England on 175 for 7. Earlier the Red Roses' Keaton Jennings was dismissed for just 1 run. Accrington Stanley were beaten 3-2 by Blackpool in the EFL Trophy, but are still the only Lancashire team to reach the knockout stages. Stanley had already qualified out of their group before the game, but manager John Coleman wasn't entirely impressed with Stanley's concentration for part.